Sup, peeps? I always wanted to say that on a video, and my god, I've picked the best time to say it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whoever the hell is watching out there, I'm CreamCrazy, if you have not known already, and this is my Wrestlemania 28 predictions video. Because everybody, let me just point this out if you don't know, because if you don't, I have no idea where you've been for the last couple of months, but Wrestlemania is tomorrow night, and I am excited. Well, I'm not just excited for that, but I'm also excited going to Brit Rest Fest at the Elephant and Castle Coronet Theatre tomorrow. So I've got a packed day. I've got to go into London, go watch this ridiculously epic British indie supercard. Then I've got to come back, watch WrestleMania, review it for all of you, and get to sleep on the first full day of my Easter holiday. All works out perfectly well, doesn't it? Because everybody, I have to say on paper, this WrestleMania looks very good. And I had to say, I said this last year, but I've said it a million times before then, I have a lot more faith in this. I have a lot more faith in this card than I did last year's card. And sorry, I'm just turning off the television because I'm going to continuously be looking at Sky Sports News, and it's the best thing to do, pressing that little button there. Then don't do that on your computer while watching my vid. Nonetheless, there are 8 matches scheduled for this card, and I'm going to get off to begin with the one that will require the least amount of discussion. Because, to be perfectly honest, it's predictable as fuck, isn't it? First off, Kelly and Maria I can't even pronounce it properly. Fuck it. Basically, just some person named Maria from Extra taking on Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres. Why this is on the card, I have absolutely no clue. It's just celebrity. Yeah, I don't care. It's not going to be good. I'll just say it right now, to save time. As the celebrity is involved, the faces will win. End of story. Now, I thought that was going to be the end of it. And I find out in the middle of the week that this Maria person broke 2 of her ribs on Dancing with the Stars. That means she is not going to do much action, which means this match is going to get fuck all in terms of time. This is going to not take up much of our time at all. Yes! That's good news on every part for us. And everybody, I can say it right here, I'm probably going a bit overboard predicting a grade for this match. It'll be a 0. If it surprises me, you may see something different. Next up, the unusual Kane versus Randy Orton match. Now, I found this statement I made the minute this was announced. I kind of thought to myself, Kane involved in a feud with a high-profile star with not much build to it? It sounded familiar, because 10 years on from Wrestlemania XXVIII, it's not only Rock that has a rehash in terms of a match, because Rock's in an icon versus icon, biggest match of all time scenario, while Kane is facing a very big star in a match with very little to back it up. Now, I have to say, I can't see Kane winning, no matter how scary he is, or how scared he's made Orton, or any reason of making him feel weak from a handshake. This storyline missed one effective thing. Now, okay, Kane saying he feels weak and human following a handshake, that's nothing, because there's a lot of beef here. Triple H and Orton were involved in getting Kane's mask removed the first time round back in 2003. So why wasn't that involved? It was because of Orton that happened. Sure, we're not that stupid, WWE, but that would have made a much better story, wouldn't it? Just putting it out there. That would have made a much better story than a handshake. I thought it was just because of playing on Orton's concussions, much like it was done on head trauma 10 years ago, but then that would be the ultimate rehash. It wouldn't have worked out. Now, Kane is around on the roster to put people over, and Orton doesn't need it, but he will win. It's simple. If only Kane had won against John Cena, this would have had a possibly different outcome. Because I just feel if they can recreate the magic they put on in their street fight sometime last year, this could be decent. Then again, this is not an ODQ match, so it will just be filler to give place of Orton on the card, really. Orton's going to win it, hands down. It's nothing else big. This should be okay, but, you know, I'm not going to go for anything more. If Kane does win, then that proves that Orton is saying, look, give Kane one last shot before he retires. Just let him go. Go and do his stuff in the main event. I'll just sit around. I won't do much. But then will that demean SmackDown and make their main event level talent look a bit shit? Yes, it will. And that's quite demoralising for people who think SmackDown isn't shit enough already. I'm just moving my computer around because for some reason the camera just keeps making me look blue. But then again, what the fuck am I wearing here? Oh shit, that's the mirroring effect on this not working out properly. Right, next up we got the Intercontinental Championship match between Cody Rhodes and The Big Show. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a true stepping stone for Cody Rhodes, because a year after wowing us against Rey Mysterio, he has got to prove himself against the strongest, well, not the strongest, but one of the strongest competitors and strongest mainstays in the main event upper mid-card picture that WWE has ever seen. Now, obviously 10 years ago, Big Show wasn't at WrestleMania, so this would be a fantastic thing. So yeah, 10 years ago, I was picking your kids up, and now I'm here. It's good. I had to say, though, there's only one reason why Big Show is in this match. Why he's in this match is only very simple. He's going to win the Grand Slam if he wins this title, and that would mean putting Big Show over. It would mean that Cody would have to lose all momentum he's gathered to basically say to Big Show, there you go, here's your moment in the sun. Your WrestleMania record is shit, but at least you got that one defining moment for you. However, that is not how it should go. That is not how it should be, because even though that means that Big Show will win by default in this situation, it shouldn't happen. Because Cody, okay, I'll tell you one thing. Big Show does deserve to go into the mid card, because I believe he should be nowhere near the main event. That'll give Cody Rhodes a chance to go up to the main event. The only issue is I feel Cody needs to build himself a lot more, and the only thing to really do that is to win at WrestleMania. So I feel he's going to bring on a stellar performance, get himself even more, and then win, albeit with some form of outside interference. I can just sense that from the back of my head. And you know what? He'll drop the title at Extreme Rules in some kind of form of cage match to Big Show to kind of give him that spotlight that he needs, and that'll give Cody a chance to go into the spring and the summer as a main event player on SmackDown. Possibly? Possibly? Is that really something that could happen? Yes. If you don't believe me, down in the comment section, explain why that isn't feasible. And again, the camera is just changing colour again. If that does appear, if basically this screen does appear as blue, don't complain about it. Yeah, so the minute Cody for the win, just. I would say I'd give Big Show the win, but I want to see Cody win, which is, I'd just say, a good thing. Oh, sorry about that. It's been a long day. Oh, fuck it. So, okay, but before I go on to this next match, I had an issue with the fucking document where the name of the match is actually not on the good part of the page, so I'm just going to press a fucking button for that. Never mind. Okay, next up, Team Laurinaitis, or Team Johnny as it's referred to. Fuck, we're not stupid. Consisting of David Otunga, Mark Henry, Drew McIntyre, replacing the injured Christian, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, and The Miz. Taking on Team Long, or Team Teddy. Again, a stupid idea. Containing Santino Marella, Kofi Kingston, R-Truth, Zack Ryder. I'll get to that later. The Great Khali, and Booker T, with Hornswoggle being their flag-bearing mascot. At least he's not wrestling. That's a good thing, right? And the winning team will technically earn their manager the control of Raw and SmackDown as the main authoritative control. Now, let me just get this declarative out of the way. A 12-man tag. A 12-man tag for WrestleMania? Are you nuts? There is going to be this Hiroshima-sized clusterfuck at WrestleMania, just as I knew there was going to be, because you got to get people on the card. It has to be done. As long as it beats last year's 8-man tag with the core in it, I will be pleased. Let's just hope that each wrestler does not enter one at a time, because if you're doing timing constraints here, people, this is a no. No way. No way. Just... I have to go mental at this, because to me, it is a stupid idea. On the other hand, though, the storyline is intriguing. You see, on a night where faces could technically dominate the proceedings, it seems like a good idea for Team Johnny. Ugh, I feel sick even just mentioning that. Ugh, it feels good for them to win. For Team Laurinaitis to win here tonight. Now, you may be saying to me, are you fucking crazy? You may be telling me, why could you possibly say Laurinaitis? Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I enjoy Laurinaitis much more than I do Teddy Long. He's a new Mr. Excitement, as he calls himself, is a new type of GM that we're not really used to. A heel GM that can and occasionally will support faces. He's not a powerful speaker, and he hopefully isn't that kind of guy who'll go out there and just project himself to everybody, much like Teddy Long does. Teddy Long, however, a formulaic face GM that we've seen time and time again, supports faces, hates heels, and in the case of Long, just puts on tag matches all the time. And I have to say this, if WWE really are shifting and changing for the future in ways that we can't ever imagine, and putting in an authority figure with such immense power that we can hate so easily, then it makes perfect sense for Laurinaitis to go over. Because Teddy can still technically be used. He could be the assistant to Laurinaitis in a big storyline going into the spring. He could be a manager, maybe. He could manage Big Zeke to get his career back on track. He could be a ref again. That's only me thinking that. I'm the only one thinking that Teddy Long could be a referee again. He's still got some use in the WWE universe, so why not put him to some use? Because what's the point of having a Laurinaitis win if you're going to just completely take Long out of it? So Laurinaitis, you're going to win this. Hands down. And you all may be kicking my ass right now, but it's the truth. The whole truth. Oh, completely forgot about this. I just literally was going to explain my anger of why Zack Ryder is in this, okay? Could have gone for someone else. They could have put Mick Foley, because that would have made perfect fucking sense, knowing what happened a couple of months back in the lead up to the Royal Rumble. The one issue is, Zack Ryder, you suffered a storyline broken back. You do not get thrown off the stage, thrown through the stage, tombstone in the ring, and all other things to just walk back. We're not stupid, WWE. If you suffer a broken back, you're like Shawn Michaels. You stay off for a year plus. It's China all over again. It's China with a broken neck all over again. Oh, take us for suckers again. It's crazy shit, isn't it? Makes you want to punch the screen. I advise on a disclaimer, do not punch your screen, because then basically watching me and watching every other video on YouTube will be completely pointless from that moment on. Now, everybody, we get into the 4 main event matches. And you know why I say 4, not 3? Because to me, the World Heavyweight Championship match between Daniel Bryan and Sheamus is important to me. It is because, everybody, this match, of course, has the Royal Rumble winner in it. These guys were the dark match the year before. Shows how far that WWE trusted them in being able to put on a good match, eh? Yeah, definitely needed to be done. Now, this match, everybody, okay, I wrote these predictions up from the end of Elimination Chamber, when the matches started getting announced, up until about a week ago. And I actually put in what I was going to put on my script here on my computer for this match last. You know why? Because it turned out to be the hardest for me to predict. Because I want both of them to win. Daniel Bryan's been on the heel run of his life and is showing what he's made of, while Sheamus is reasserting himself into the main event scene where he belongs. Both need to win to legitimize themselves at the top of the blue brand of SmackDown for the foreseeable future, and to show that they're worth WWE investing time in, as they've both been wasted in the past year. Now, I have to say this. I would love to see Sheamus win. That gives the Rumble win to build prestige back for that accomplishment by being the first winner of the Rumble to win the title in 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. The last guy to do it was Undertaker. That was 2000. Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll say 5. I'll say 5. Oh, 4 years of it not actually happening. It could possibly be 5 if Sheamus doesn't win. However, in my honest opinion, Bryan needs it more. And you all are probably going to be choking me metaphorically, saying, oh my god, he is not seriously thinking that yes could possibly be the thing we see inside Sun Life Stadium, Dolphin Stadium, whatever it's called, at this pay-per-view. Well, let me tell you something. Sheamus over the course of his career has been built strongly. Bryan hasn't. Think about what Sheamus has always been built strong. And that's something we can all obviously admit. But Daniel Bryan has always actually, since he won Money in the Bank, he was technically the weak link on SmackDown. No one really gave him much of a chance. And okay, sure, people have not really been convinced by his title reign because he's not been built as the strongest champion. But then again, he's not the strongest wrestler. So you can kind of see where that all ties in. And I just feel that to beat the Celtic Warrior, to show that you are worth something as a wrestler, it would mean more to Bryan. Because if he loses, he will drop down to the mid-card. I do not want to see that. I'm sorry, everybody, but I do not want to see a wrestler as talented as Daniel Bryan be wasted away in the mid-card. Sheamus, on the other hand, can look a threat at any time and will be in the upper mid-card main event scene forever. He is never going to go. He'll be there forever. Daniel Bryan can fall. He won't be seen as a legitimate threat if a big guy like Sheamus squashes him. It wouldn't be right. And these guys can put on a much better match than what I've just said. So it's more beneficial for Bryan to win. However, I do fear one thing. Because knowing how my other prediction is set out, and my other title predictions are set out, WWE want to give the people one title change at a WrestleMania. It's very rare to find a WrestleMania without a title change. In fact, last year's was a blunt example of one of them. People get pissed off when there's no title change, especially at a WrestleMania. So to give Sheamus that WrestleMania moment, I can see the fans, the internet fans, wanting a title change at a pay-per-view, getting something that they want. However, I'm going to stick it out right here and say Daniel Bryan is going to win. Because, like I've said, it means more. Plus, I think that would mean that they trust Daniel Bryan with his in-ring work. He can go on and basically make the rest of the year his. What about that? You not liking that? You not liking that prediction? It's my opinion here, people. Right. Now on to one of my favourite matches of the entire night here, people. CM Punk taking on Chris Jericho with the WWE Championship on the line. Now, I will say this out of the bat like everybody is saying, what a match this could be. This is going to be a classic. I may be jumping ahead of the obvious WrestleMania bandwagon here, but this is the kind of match WrestleMania was made for, and it should be a fantastic one. Because this is a dream match that a lot of people... This is basically one of those matches you say, I've been waiting for years for this, and I'm finally fucking pleased it's happening. Because I never thought this would happen. I mean, sure, I knew they'd already faced before, but I had never thought they'd face off at WrestleMania, so makes me happy. Now, being a Punk fan, you would all be feeling right now that I would be biased. Obviously, you would say that, wouldn't you? Knowing that I am straight edge, I am a CM Punk fan, and that I would say to Jericho, fuck you, you're not getting your chance over Punk. Well, hear me out here, because actually when looking at this match, it's a lot harder to predict than it is on face value. It falls around the same definitions of Rock and Cena. Hear me out here. Punk is the new kid on the main event block who has established himself as a force for the company in the future, while Jericho is the older warhorse who wants to reclaim the position in the company that he left behind. Similarity there, people? it is a very big similarity. And I feel, would it be right to give Jericho the strap, the belt, the championship, the title, whichever definition you want to call it, even though he'll be off with Fozzy in the near future, despite rumours of a contract extension? Or would it be right for Punk to win and be put over by Jericho and basically would give him a bigger standing in WWE and say, look, this is our next guy. This is the guy we trust. This is the guy you know will lead the company forward, even though Cena is our juggernaut. He will basically be like what Batista was to Cena. He will be basically what Randy Savage was to Hogan. He will basically be what Rock was to Austin for the majority of the Attitude Era. And I have to feel that this, even though the internet fans are threatening anger over this because they want Jericho to win, they want Jericho to be the best in the world. It isn't just for the title, it's for the best in the world moniker as well. But the thing is, even though I'm an impartial fan and I'm a fan of both men's work, I know which ending I want more. And I want Punk to be solidified. Jericho deserves another title reign, but against a guy like Punk, who has a better chance of holding the company holding the company together for longer, and being more loyal even, it makes you think he deserves it. And to be honest, to be put over by Jericho, who's actually got a reputation for doing this, it would be honestly the best thing. To put this guy over, to put Punk over as the next big champion. And you know what? If me and NJ, talking on Skype quite a while back now, we were saying that this WrestleMania is being a WrestleMania that ushers in a new era. And it can only really be that if the WWE champion of the new CM Punk is given the chance to ride from the biggest event of the year as the champion. It makes a lot of sense. Sorry, Y2J, it just isn't going to be your night, no matter how much the IWC want it. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, oh, the contract extension, they're going to continue the feud. Jericho has to win it to make the feud make sense. No, it doesn't. If Punk wins, we at least get some continuation of Jericho being bitter, angry, wanting another chance. What would Punk be humble in defeat to Jericho with the storyline? I feel would not really progress much more from there. I mean, sure, Jericho would probably use a lot more personal anecdotes to get under Punk's skin and saying, "You want another match with me, pal? You really think you're that good? I'm gonna piss you off to the point where you had to accept you had to drop all of your pride and wrestle me again to prove yourself even more." That, to me, it will work, but I don't want it to happen. If you get what I'm trying to say. Jericho is much better chasing the title than he is holding it. People say Punk is exactly that, but that's just my opinion. I think Punk is better with the belt. Actually, he's better with or without the belt. He's both. He's good at both. That's just me again saying my praises for Punk. But basically, CM Punk will retain. Done. Dusted. Simple. You're not happy with that? You can click that dislike button as much as you want. It ain't going to change a fact. It's my opinion. Right. And now we get on to the match that I've actually been looking forward to this one more than Rock Cena. And you know which one it is if you've done a process of elimination 23 minutes in and realised, what match is he possibly going on about? Ooh, now I know. It's Hell in a Cell. Triple H versus Undertaker 3. Yep, not 2, like WWE tries to make us, kind of put us into perspective here. And it has Shawn Michaels as the special guest ref. Holy shit. See, that smile has been on my face ever since that match was announced. Because if this match turns out to be the final curtain call of both men's careers, and I couldn't have thought of a more brilliant way for it to pan out. Because to have their rematch from last year take place inside the structure that both of these guys made their careers is a dream scenario that others and I have been wanting for so many years to come true. And it's now happening. We are now going to get the dream match. We are going to get a match which, okay, has happened 3 times at WrestleMania. But we're getting it in the one thing we thought we'd never see. We're going to see Triple H. We're going to see Undertaker. We're in a Hell in a Cell for the first time ever as one-on-one combatants. Oh, this is going to be awesome. And not only that, the addition of Shawn Michaels to the mix should be awesome indeed, because he could screw somebody, he could make things go his own way, he could break up pinfall attempts, he could knock them both out and do whatever the hell he wants to with them. He could do anything he wants to. And that is where this match holds up a lot of interest for me. You see, the intensity and drama of this match will be evident. This match will be flooding buckets full of drama, intensity, and the fans, I bet, will be going mental, just as I will in this chair tomorrow night. It will be awesome. And I have to say, even with Shawn Michaels in the match, people are saying it's a bad thing. How could you possibly say it's a bad thing? It makes the match more open, because he won't be spoon-fed all the crap the referees are usually spoon-fed. Now, after last year, what these guys gave us, what these two behemoths of wrestling gave us, this could be, anything could happen in this match. But, despite the fact that there should be blood, despite the fact that I would love to see the barbed wire steel chair factored in once again. If you watch the Vengeance 2005 Hell in a Cell, you will see exactly what I mean. Despite that, everybody, the song remains the same. To quote Led Zeppelin, Taker will walk out 20-0. Now, last year, Triple H was that close to ending the streak. We all had our hearts in our mouths thinking it was going to happen. It's not going to happen this time, because despite the fact that this is the match that both these guys have the most experience in, that compared to everyone else on the roster, with Taker being in it 10 times, Triple H being in it 8 times respectively, and Shawn Michaels being in 4 times as well, that's the third largest, you'd think that Triple H has a more of an aggressive edge inside this cell, well, and he'd obviously win because of Shawn Michaels' assistance. Well, to me, I don't see that happening. I see these guys going right to the wire again. I see him going right to the edge even more. And Shawn Michaels will play a fundamental part in that. But everybody, Triple H may try and win, but I know he won't. It's simple. Because Taker is not going to end the streak. Taker is not going to allow Triple H to end the streak, and the fans won't like it either. Because, like Triple H said, it's good for business to keep the streak around. And WWE are not going to take a risk with that streak being gone to a guy who it doesn't benefit. It won't benefit Triple H in any slight of the imagination. And it's too big a risk to backfire. Because if Triple H does win and fans are pissed off to oblivion, then what's going to happen next? Eh? Because I actually don't know what's going to happen after this match with these 3 guys. I know Shawn Michaels will be going back to his hunting channel, with Stone Cold obviously chipping in. I know that Triple H is going to be backstage helping and being a COO like he usually is. But Taker, I'm not entirely sure. He could retire, could have another WrestleMania match next year, which I'm praying for. But at the end of the day, Undertaker will win this match. Hands down. I could have gotten to that a lot quicker, but you know me. I like going into my detail. Don't like that? Tough shit. And finally, we get to the one match that is defining this show. It is the one match that is going to be remembered. It is the one match we all, apart from me in some respect, are looking forward to seeing. The Rock, the Brahma Bull, the People's Champion, versus the Dr. Thugonomics, the basically WWE's giant Superman, John Cena. This match means a lot to a lot of fans. And in all fairness, this could lead to many problems for the WWE trying to ponder over in consideration of who should win. Who should they put over for this match? Okay, let me put these 2 little situations out for you. If Rock wins, the WWE will show a lack of progression by wanting to please older fans who aren't truly considered part of their demographic, despite that percentage of their audience holding a gigantic percentage of the share. Okay? Makes sense. Piss off people who mostly watch the product, but also are not your key audience demographic. Seems plausible. Or, if Cena wins, it'll show the distinct passing of the torch between generations, but it would lead to some people going into a uncontrolled violent frenzy that would lead many people to switch off WWE programming forever and in course burn Dolphin Stadium to the ground, which in turn creates a large risk of giant lawsuits from Miami Dolphins. Is that worth the risk? Is it worth the risk of people turning off from WWE? Is it worth the risk of Dolphin Stadium possibly being razed from its foundations? It may not actually happen, but it's good to kind of keep that in your head, because if Cena wins, we riot signs will be popped up everywhere. Is it worth that risk for possibly Rock to do this? In my honest opinion, everybody, it's worth the risk for Cena to win. Now, you are all Rock fans I know out there are probably saying, why could you side with Cena? Let me just point this out. WWE hasn't taken a calculated, full-on, make-or-break risk for the storyline in years. And it'll be a good thing for them to do it in a partisan place like Miami with a polarized crowd. Because every time there is a polarized crowd in recent years, I have seen the guy whose hometown it is go over. I have seen Rob Van Dam go over at ECW One Night Stand. I have seen CM Punk go over at Money in the Bank to Cena. I have seen Austin go over at Wrestlemania XXVIII in the Astrodome. I have seen a lot of others as well. But for this point, it's not the popular choice to have Cena win. Because fuck it, even though people are saying the crowd will be 60-40 in favour of The Rock, it'll be 80-20, 90-10. It will not be anything apart from a gigantic whitewash. The crowd will turn this into a barrage of Cena hate. And that's something I'm coming to expect. But it seems right for the superstar of yesteryear to give the generation of today that torch, to pass it. Much like Rock did against Hogan, for Hogan to pass the torch to him. Like Austin did against Michaels. Much like what Warrior and Hogan did. It has to be done. It has to be done because it makes more sense. If The Rock is leaving afterwards, where does it lead from there? Cena gets bitter, angry. I don't know what that would lead from. He would go over and attack someone else, maybe. He would turn heel. Anything is possible, but for Cena to win at least makes more sense than having Rock win and then just fuck off back to Hollywood. I would not want to see that, people. I do not want to see Rock fuck off to Hollywood, make more movies, and then come back not doing anything else. Because this is a once-in-a-lifetime match. I do not want to see it happen again. This is a one match, once in a lifetime, that will have to be done once. No rematches. No WrestleMania 29 match. This has to be a one-on-one, one-time only contest, because it doesn't make sense any other way. Now, these guys should put on a match of better quality than Rock Hogan, despite the fact that people think it's going to be worse than Rock Hogan. Let me tell you this, these guys are going to put on better in-ring material than Hogan did 10 years ago, okay? Now, I would like to also point this out. I'm not in the Cena camp. I'm also not in the Rock camp either, because I don't like either of them. And it's the fact that it'll be hard for me to judge who will win outright until we see the match itself and the full extent the crowd goes. I just hope they put on a match that's decent and that the crowd don't completely ruin it by being the most partisan crowd they can be. As long as this great match, when it does happen, makes people respect Cena, then a win for him will keep the fans mildly pleased about the outcome and keep Dolphin Stadium in one whole orange-coloured piece by the night's end. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody watching out there, is the end. Let me quickly just go through who I have predicted here. First, Kelly and Maria Menounos, or whoever her name is. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Team Laurinaitis, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, The Undertaker, and John Cena. They are my predictions for tomorrow's epic WrestleMania 28 pay-per-view. I hope you've all enjoyed this video as much as I have. I hope you're looking forward to WrestleMania. If you want to comment on what your predictions are, please put your comments in that comment section below. You can also post your video as a video response, because I want to hear what you guys think. Also, you can like Cream Crazy's Wrestling Rant on Facebook, or go click on my personal page. Both of them will be in the description box. You can also add me on Skype, CreamCrazyWR. You can also ask me Q&A questions. I will be doing one later this month if I can fit it into my schedule. All good? Sweet. But also, everybody, if you haven't clicked the button already, I appreciate the support. If you click that subscribe button up there, because it means a hell of a lot to me, and it means you get some good videos. Hopefully. Because if you like this, you'll like others I do. Everybody, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, because I'll tell you now, I'm going to watch this baby in a second. Because every year, I watch X7, and I do it with pride. Every year, every night before Mania. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm off to Brit Rest Fest tomorrow. I'm hoping that I don't have a bloody hoarse voice by the time I'm done. That would be really annoying, wouldn't it? I've been Cream Crazy. You've been people watching. This has been my WrestleMania 28 predictions video. I will see you Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning for my next video, which of course will be the review of this massive pay-per-view event. And mark my words, everybody. If this pay-per-view is not above the 5.5 that I gave WrestleMania last year, you can expect the most angry rant on a pay-per-view that I've given since R-Truth lost to Cena a capital punishment last year. Got my word? Sweet. Cheers and have a fantastic weekend. WrestleMania is on our doorstep, people. The road is at an end. See ya.